Lorie Out Loud.
Hey, beautiful people. Welcome back to another episode of Lorie Out Loud, the podcast where voices get amplified, culture gets celebrated, and creativity takes center stage. I'm your host, Lorie Jean Akambi, and today's episode is filled with powerful stories, vibrant expression, and a whole lot of heart. First up is Fashion View, where we're honoring tradition and textile as we delve into the kaba and slit, a beautiful Ghanaian woman's outfit, and hand-woven kente cloth, recognized recently by UNESCO as intangible cultural heritage. We're talking fashion with meaning. Then, in our featured artist segment, we head to Cleveland, Ohio, where painter and visual artist Nate F. Austin is transforming canvases into emotional works of art. His work blends portraiture and abstract expressionism to capture identity, memory, and presence. And trust me, you're gonna feel it. Over and say what? It's me and Colin Zakambi with a fun and educational Twi language moment. This time, we're diving into family terms in Twi, laughing through the pronunciations and learning how language connects us to culture in the most beautiful ways. Lastly is the debut segment, She Got Hands, and we're kicking it off with the incredible Nancy Horn. Nancy's journey in the construction industry started as a laborer. Today, she's a project engineer, building from the ground up, breaking barriers, and showing us all what resilience and skill really look like. So, wherever you are, driving, relaxing, creating, or just vibing, settle in, turn it up, and get ready for voices that uplift, stories that stick, and culture that speaks loud and clear. This is Lorie Out Loud. Let's get into it.
Looking for soulful music to spice up your next celebration? Meet the dreaded Blues Lady, your go-to blues singer from Virginia, bringing heart, soul, and a whole lot of power to any event. Whether it's a house party, a birthday bash, or any special occasion, the dreaded Blues Lady will fill the room with music that touches the soul. From performing powerful blues and soul at your events to singing background vocals on your music tracks, she's got your musical needs covered for any project.
I can't be satisfied, and I just can't keep from crying.
Book the dreaded Blues Lady for your next event and bring the power of blues, soul, and inspiration to your celebration. Visit thedreadedblueslady.com or email info@dreadedblueslady.com today.
The Dreaded Blues Lady. Soulful music, powerful stories, unforgettable moments.
I'm stepping into the spotlight with today's Fashion View, featuring a kaba and slit outfit made with kente cloth just for me by the seamstress Faustina. A kaba and slit is a two-piece Ghanaian outfit. The kaba is the fitted blouse, and the slit is the skirt. The kaba, with its elegant neckline and structured bodice, frames the upper body like a crown. The slit, traditionally wrapped with grace and precision, offers fluidity and form, a silhouette that balances tradition with a bold, feminine presence. This kente cloth with the color black as its foundation also features the colors red, white, green, and gold. The shapes featured on this kente cloth appear to my eyes as diamonds, squares, and zigzags. However, these are actually weave patterns that have special meaning, although unknown to me. Kente cloth is hand-woven strips of silk, cotton, and more recently, rayon. The kente cloth of this dress was purchased in Accra, Ghana, at the Accra Arts and Crafts Market. The history of kente cloth extends back to the 16th century and originates in the Asante region of Ghana. In December 2024, kente cloth was recognized by UNESCO as an intangible cultural heritage. A kaba and slit made with kente cloth is the kind of outfit you wear when you want your presence to speak before you even say a word. At a wedding, a naming ceremony, or a cultural event where pride meets pageantry. For example, I wore this during my swearing-in ceremony for vice mayor. But here is what is even more powerful. This look connects continents, from the weaver's hands in Ghana to the market stalls of Accra, from Faustina's workshop in Tema to the United States where the kaba and slit is worn by yours truly. It's a reminder that fashion can carry memory, meaning, and home. If you're interested in kente cloth or getting a kaba and slit made, feel free to email Lorie at lorieoutloud.com. That concludes this episode of Fashion View. Until next time, I'm Lorie Jean Akambi.
Lorie Out Loud.
Today's featured artist is someone whose canvas captures not only color, but emotion, identity, and presence. He's a rising name in the art world with roots deep in Cleveland, Ohio, and a vision that extends far beyond city limits. I'm talking about painter and visual artist Nate F. Austin, a storyteller with a brush, a thinker with something real to say. Nate F. Austin is not just a painter, he's a translator of experience, turning personal and collective emotion into visual language. His work lives at the intersection of culture, memory, and self-exploration, inviting us to see the beauty in our complexity. And speaking of his work, allow me to introduce you to Queen Nina. Here comes the sun, little darling. Here comes the sun, little darling. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right indeed. Man, she is just magnificent. I can't say enough about her. Just the yellow and the way the black and the white just pops off that yellow. It's just, it's I can't even speak the words. But Queen Nina is 3 foot by 4 foot acrylic on canvas. And speaking of this piece, Nate says that I had 2 objectives for this piece: to challenge myself to step outside of my comfort zone and approach a style that is different than my usual approach, and honor a legend that used her gifts to inspire the world and speak out against systemic oppression. Now, I will say that Nate did the damn thing. I mean, she is just, again, beautiful. Born and raised in Cleveland, Nate draws deep inspiration from his surroundings, the textures of his neighborhood, the faces of his community, the undercurrents of both struggle and celebration. He once said that every piece starts with a feeling before it ever finds a form. And you can see that in the layers, in the movement, in the quiet power of his composition. His signature style often blends portraiture with abstract expressionism, combining bold color palettes, sharp contrasts, and rich texture to reflect the depth of identity, especially Black identity. Nate's subjects don't just appear on canvas, they emerge. They stare back, they take up space unapologetically, and they invite us to do the same. Over the years, Nate has exhibited work across Ohio and beyond, participated in community murals, and hosted workshops that bring art into accessible, everyday spaces. But perhaps his greatest impact is the way his work resonates with those who see themselves in it, people who rarely get to be the focal point of a gallery wall. Whether he's painting powerful portraits, experimenting with mixed media, or teaching others to use art as healing, Nate is creating with purpose. What I love about Nate's work and what really stuck with me is how intentional it is. These aren't just pretty pictures or cool colors. His art asks questions, it challenges, it honors. In a world that too often devalues creativity, Nate is doing the opposite, using his work to revalue the human experience, particularly Black life, through a lens that is both deeply personal and universally moving. His paintings tell stories many of us know intimately: resilience, pride, pain, joy, ancestry, transformation. It's almost as if you're not just looking at his art, you're being seen by it. For artists out there wondering if your voice matters, if your work has a place, Nate is proof that it does. And not just a place on a wall, but a place in dialogue, in healing, in legacy. That brings us to the end of this featured artist segment. Much love and respect to Nate F. Austin for creating beautiful work and reminding us that art is a mirror, a message, and a movement. You can follow Nate's journey and view his stunning portfolio at www.artbynfa.com. That's www.artbynfa.com. If a piece speaks to you, let it. If you feel moved, say something. Share it. Support it. Buy the print, buy the original. Show up for the artist. And if this segment sparks something in you, maybe it's time to pick up the brush, the pen, the mic, the camera. Whatever your medium is, use it. Because, like Nate shows us, when you create from truth, people feel it. Until next time, keep living bold, loving loud, and seeing the art in everything. I'm Lorie Jean Akambi.
Lorie Out Loud.
Welcome back, fam. You're tuned in to Lorie Out Loud, the show where we speak our minds and celebrate life in all of its glory. I'm your host, Lorie Jean Akambi.
And I'm Collins Mustafa Akambi, co-host for this segment and your personal tree teacher.
It's time once again for your favorite tweed tutorial.
Say what? Welcome to Say What. We bring Ghana to your earbud, one tree phrase at a time.
And today we're keeping it all in the family. Literally, we're talking family terms in Twi. So if you've ever wondered how to say mother, father, or wife Ghanaian style, this one's for you.
Okay. So I would say let's start with the basics, right? So let's say if you want to call your mom in like our local language, we call it Enna.
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 Yeah, right. And father is Ija.
Eja.
Ija.
Eja.
Yeah, Ija. Stop it and say it with respect, you know. Say we are African people, so we talk with respect. So you say Ija.
Okay. Eja.
Yeah. Now, good. Let's say if you want to call your child, or let's say like your children, in our local language, we say eba,
Eba.
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 Yeah, I think you got it.
All right. Well, I'll take that. Thank
But,
you.
okay, so let's say when you have brothers and sisters, right, and you want to call them in our local language, if you want to call your brother, we say onya berima.
Onya berima.
Yeah, literally that means like male sibling. So you say
male
onya,
sibling.
yeah, onya berima.
Onya berima.
Yeah. And let's say if you want,
now that's a little long.
yeah. And let's say if you want to call your sister, you say onya ba.
Onya ba.
Yeah. Onya ba.
And that's for your sister.
Yeah, that's for sister, like female sibling.
Onya ba.
Ba.
Okay.
It has to sound like ba. You get it?
Onya ba.
Ba. Yeah.
Okay.
If you want to call your husband, okay, in our local language, we say kunu.
Kunu.
Like ukunu. You say like ukunu, that means that's your husband. And if you want to...
Okay. Kunu.
Yeah. And you want to call your wife, we say oyere. It starts with an
oyere.
Oyere. Yeah, that means your wife.
Oyere.
Yeah.
Oyere.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oyere.
I like that. Oyere.
Yeah. As it should be, Ghanaian put respect on wives, so we really like to, make them feel special. So, what you know what to say? It's like you're asking, how is your wife? Or you want to sing? Can you say?
Oyere wahota sing.
Yeah. You see, so that means you're asking about her wife.
And that's saying, how is your wife?
Yeah, how is your wife?
Okay,
so let's move on.
Well,
let's move on to
I think your wife is good.
Yeah, so right now we're going to like the extended family, like your sister, like we are going to go like your auntie and your uncle. Right? Okay. So if let's say you see your auntie and you want to call your auntie, you say sewa.
Sewa.
Yeah.
Sewa, that's beautiful.
Wow.
I like that.
Exactly.
Sewa.
Yeah. And if you want to call your uncle, you say wofa. Wofa. And you really have to add like a little bit of respect to it,
Wofa.
Wofa. Now what to say? It's like, uncle, how are you doing?
Wofa wahota sing.
Yeah. So that means like, uncle, how are you doing?
Okay.
So
uncle, how are you doing?
How are you doing? So let's say you want to call your grandmother, your grandfather. So if you want to call your grandmother, we say Nana Ba. Yeah, Nana Ba. Yeah, it has to start with a ba. So it's like, oh friend, like you are calling him, you are calling your Nana. What else? And Nana is like respect. We give respect to the name. You get it? And let's say like you want to call your grandfather. It's the same as you calling like your male sibling, but it's like Nana Berima.
Nana Berima.
Yeah.
Nana Berima.
Yeah, you are calling.
And that's for my grandfather.
That's for your grandfather.
Berima. Okay.
You are cleaning. So, all right, now let's do a little practice. I will say it in English. You will say it in Tree.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna try it.
Okay. So let's say if I say mother, how would you say it in Tree?
Enna.
You see, it's air.
Enna.
Yeah. And if you want to call your father too, what name? How would you say it in Tree? Eja. Okay. Yeah. So what about sister?
Onyeba.
Okay. So what about
Onyeba?
Yeah. So what about brother? Onya Berima.
Okay. What about Onya Berima? Okay. Yeah. Onya Berima. Okay.
So what about your wife?
Oyere. Okay. Oh yeah. Oyere.
Yeah. So what about, let's say, like your husband? How would he say? Kunu.
Was that Kunu?
Kunu.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kunu. Okay.
So let's do a quick recap for our listeners, okay? So that they can also learn how to speak Tree. Okay. So we will start from
Mm-hmm.
mother. Mother is what? How would you say mother in tree?
Ina,
Enna.
ina,
Yeah. So what about
ina,
father? Enna. What about father?
eja, eja,
Eja.
eja,
Okay. Yeah.
eja.
So yeah, let's say like you want to call your child. How would you say it in tree?
Abba,
Eba. Eba.
Abba,
Eba. It's okay.
Abba.
You need to take your time. One step at a time. I think you'll be doing good. It takes time for you to learn this vocabulary. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's not easy though, but tree is very simple. You just have to say it with a little bit of respect, and I think you'll be good. So let's say you want to call your brother. How would you call your brother in tree?
Onye Berima,
Berima. Yeah, Onya Berima. That means male sibling. You get it?
Onye Berima,
Onya, Onya Berima.
Onye Berima.
Yeah. So what about your sister? If you want to call your sister in tree, how do you go about it? Onyaba,
Onye Ba,
Onyaba.
Onye Ba.
Yeah. So let's say you want to call your husband. How would you say it in tree?
Canoe, Canoe,
Kunu. Yeah. You are doing well. And
Kunu,
what about wife?
Kunu.
Kunu. Yeah.
Oyere,
Oyere. Oyere.
Oyere.
Yeah. So what about auntie?
Siwa,
Sewa. Just a little bit of sorrow.
Sewa,
Sewa.
Sewa.
Sewa now want to say, oh, me one year now swear. You get it, right?
Sewa woho to say.
Yeah. That is like, aunt, how are you doing? So if you want to call your uncle too, how would you say it in tree?
Wofa,
Wafa.
Wofa,
Yeah. So wafa on to say,
Wofa,
me one
Wofa
year
woho to say.
now swear. You see, that's very good. So let's go to grandmother.
Nana Ba,
Nana Ba. You are doing well. I think this one they
Nana
like really
Ba.
pronounce it really well. So what about your grandfather?
Nana Berima,
Yeah, Nana Berima. You see, we have like a way of saying it, Nana Berima. So that means like he's great,
Nana Berima.
Nana Berima. That means in a way of making the person feel he's great. So we add the Nana. It's like a title. You get it.
All
So
right.
yeah.
Now that was a whole family reunion, Ghana style. Shout out to all the nanas and the
Yeah,
onyes out
out
there.
there. Like really remember this. Family is a huge part of Ghana, like Ghanaian life. This words carry like love, respect, deep traditional connection. You know.
And now you've got the words to honor yours in tweet. You're welcome.
Or I should say Yewokrom. If I say Yewokrom, it's in the form of saying we are in town. You get it.
Ah, okay, okay. Hey, call back. That's it for this episode of Say What? But we'll be back next time with more Tweed goodness.
Yeah. Till then, Medamwase. Thank you, family.
And stay loud, stay learning, stay in love. This
Say
was
what?
Say What?
Lorie Out Loud.
Welcome to She Got Hands, where we shine a light on the skilled, determined women who are making their mark in the trades and construction industry. They're electricians, carpenters, welders, builders, and owners, mastering tools and transforming spaces, often while breaking barriers and expectations along the way. Whether just starting out or leading teams on major projects, these women bring talent, tenacity, and pride to the work they do. She Got Hands is about honoring their craft, hearing their stories, and celebrating the power of women who build. Today, I'm honored to speak with Nancy Horn, a powerhouse in steel toes and hard hat, a woman whose career is built on grit, growth, and groundbreaking determination. She began her journey in the construction industry as a laborer, learning the ropes from the ground up. In just a few years, Nancy climbed the ranks, moving from laborer to crew lead to foreman. Today, she serves as a project engineer, where she brings both field experience and leadership insight to complex builds and big picture planning. Nancy's story is one of steady, fearless advancement in a male dominated industry. And her presence in every role has not only opened doors, but also laid a foundation for more women to follow. She joins us to talk about the power of perseverance, the value of hands on experience, and what it means to build a career and a legacy with your own two hands. Welcome, Nancy, to the Lorie Out Loud podcast and the She Got Hands segment. Thank you for coming on the show with me today.
Hi, Lorie. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to do this with you.
Oh, thank you so much, Nancy. Well, I'm going to dive right into it and ask you the first question is, Nancy, now what led you to pursue a role in the construction industry?
Honestly, at the time, I needed a job, to be honest, because I am a single mom with two kids. And where I was working before, they lost their insurance. So at the time, I knew somebody that worked in the industry, and they said they're hiring as laborers. So I was all for it.
Oh, wow. So just the simple act of needing a job
Yes.
basically kind of led you to the industry.
Yes.
Now, Nancy, as you got into it, were there any particular specific education courses that you took or specific trainings that you had to go through in order to advance?
Starting out, being a laborer, you have to have your OSHA 10. And then once I became the crew lead, you have to have your first aid certification. So we had to take that class. And then when I became a foreman, we took our OSHA 30 because you have to be OSHA 30 certified to be in the leadership role. And then when I transitioned from being a laborer into a carpenter, I did a lot of online classes to learn about more advanced safety in the field. It's called Click Safety. You can do it online. But from there, from being a carpenter to going into being a project engineer, there was actually a GED program because I actually dropped out of high school. And so to advance, it was like, okay, I need a high school diploma. So they put me through the GED program, and I was able to get my diploma through that. And then from there, there's trainings you can do at the office where you can learn about money management, how to talk to people, mental health, working with people you don't like. But yes, there's several different courses that I slowly just took throughout the 6 years.
Now, Nancy, let me go back and dive into one of those, well, actually two of those particular trainings, if you could kind of enlighten us about what is OSHA 10 and OSHA 30 training briefly?
OSHA 10 training is basic safety knowledge on the job site, what to do and what not to do. And then OSHA 30 is the more advanced, is like how many feet do you have to stay away from a trench to have a piece of equipment drive over? How many linear feet do you have to have a ladder? What do you do in case of a collapse trench?
Okay, well, that gives us an idea about, that gives us somewhat of an idea about what it is. Because when you said OSHA 10, OSHA 30, now I've heard that term, but just for the audience members that are just thinking about, what is that? So I think that gives us some idea. It sounds like a lot of safety oriented training.
Oh, yes. The company, in construction alone, it's safety is the number one over quality, over production. So, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Nancy, who mentored or supported you during the transitions? So you talked about going from laborer to crew lead to foreman and then now project engineer. Was there a key person or a series of key people during your transitions? And then also, what impact did they have on your path?
Well, one person in particular, he stuck out. He saw me transition from being a laborer all the way into being a carpenter. He's one of my best friends now, Calvin Harris. He he taught me how to be an actual laborer, like how to actually sweep and proper cleaning techniques and how to lift the right way. And
Hmm.
he's always told me, Nancy, don't let these men out here tell you that you can't do something. You can
Yes.
do it.
Yes.
And also the superintendents of the job site, two of them, Robin Bush and Curtis, they actually advocated for me because
Hmm.
I didn't see anything in myself, but apparently they did. They saw
Hmm.
things that I didn't see, and they just helped guide me the whole way there.
Yeah. Well, that's certainly very inspirational that there are, various people and especially menfolk that are encouraging you. And then one of
Oh
the
yeah.
things that I wanted to point back on is that you said you got your GED. And that is something familiar to me because I, too, am a high school dropout. And so I
Oh
had to go back
wow.
and get my GED as well. And
Yeah.
so certainly I can really get with you when you talk about you had to go back and get your GED because that's very important, basically, just to continue the learning. Let's see. What was it like for you, Nancy, to walk onto the job site for the first time? And then what kind of kept you coming back each day?
Oh man. First time going out, not gonna lie, it was scary
Mhm.
because it was a lot of men, and in the construction industry is you know there is racism. So
Mhm.
a lot of people did not think I spoke English, so it was a lot of harassment that I
Mhm.
had to uh, go through, but try to push past it because Calvin always said they don't pay your check, they don't pay you, so it's you got to look past it. There was a lot of
Mhm.
times I cried because I
Mhm.
didn't want to go back, but I
Aw.
kept going back because I'm not gonna lie, the money was it kept going up, it kept
Yes.
increasing, and the fact that it was something different every single day, it
Mhm.
helped with my mental health because like
Mhm.
being in a cubicle was not the life I wanted. I wanted to see things always changing.
Mhm.
So as the years progressed and people got to know me, the harassing stopped. They realized I know English and I have a backbone and
Mhm.
I'm not gonna let anybody talk shit to
Exactly.
me. So um
Exactly. Isn't it amazing when you stand up for yourself? You
oh
know how
yeah.
things can change. For sure. For sure. Now, Nancy, for the audience, tell us what ethnicity are you?
I am Cambodian.
Yes. Okay. Great. Great. Cool. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Yes.
Um, as you moved up through the ranks from laborer to crew lead to foreman, what inner qualities or values help you grow into each new role?
Uh, the major one was attitude.
Hmm.
You have to have the right type of attitude to want to keep on moving forward. Because if you come to work saying, I just am coming for a check, which I know I've been talking about like the money the whole time, but
Yeah.
if you just come to work thinking about the check, then you're just gonna stay in a lull where you're not going to advance. But if you keep on coming and say, I'm going to get this, that, and the fourth done, and I don't care who sees, I don't care if anybody ever notices, I just need to get it done,
Yes.
then you'll slowly, I saw that I slowly was able to advance.
Yeah. And you know for yourself, basically. So it's like you're
Yes.
doing it without the knowledge of anybody looking. It's just, you know, for yourself that these are goals, these are the things that you want to obtain, and so you just go for it for yourself. And so that sounds like a great attitude, Nancy.
Oh yeah.
What was the moment early in your career that made you say, yes, I belong here?
When I never had to really think about that. When I became a project engineer, honestly, I felt like I had a knack for it. It was since I'm able to communicate with the guys in the field since I've worked in the field. So I was able to connect the admin side of things with the craft side of things and just bring it all together. And I feel like, not to like blow up my own head, but I was able to bridge that communication where it made the workflow a little easier.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, when I'm sitting in construction related interviews, right? This question commonly comes up, or this term commonly comes up, and that term is lessons learned. And so when you look back at your earlier roles, what lessons learned have stuck with you the most?
Communication. When there is a lack of communication, there is a snowball effect. If one person does not communicate to one trade, and then it puts everybody behind, and then the whole building does not get finished on time. So communication has been key in planning, because one person has to go after another, and let's say everybody puts plumbing in before overhead goes in, then the whole building is just out of whack, and then safety is out of control because everybody's trying to climb over everything to get to the overhead work. So communication.
Okay. How has being a woman, and particularly a woman in a male dominated field and a woman of color, shaped the way you lead and connect with your team?
I don't want to say I bring like a softness to them, but I bring more of a mother figure to them.
Because you're a woman. I mean, so we're more nurturing, basically.
Yes, I am. Because I have to try to make sure that these guys understand that the workers are not robots. They're people, and they have feelings too. But not only that, but that the guys have to take care of themselves, like mental health wise, and before they try to help somebody else, because you can't be in the right state of mind and work in construction. I mean, you can't be in the wrong state of mind and go to work the next day and, try to build something great.
Yeah.
You got to be mentally healthy, I guess. And I'm there for them to be able to open up to without judgment, because men talking to other men about their feelings is harder for them. So I'm there for them, like a diary, I guess. So I listen without judgment. Because in construction, I've heard suicide is suicide is like one of the highest ratings next to the military. So just trying to be there for them.
Yes. And that's good. And I really like what you said, like a diary, because when I think about a diary holds your secrets, basically.
Oh, yeah.
It holds your, and again, you just write in your diary. And like you said, it's without judgment. It doesn't talk back to you. You know what I mean? It doesn't judge you about what it is that you're putting there. And so I really like that. Let's see. What does it feel like now walking onto a site as a project engineer, knowing just how far you've come?
I'm not gonna lie, I get cocky, because when I walk into the job site, it's like, okay, I helped do all of this. This is my job site. I wish somebody would. So, and not only that, is everybody I work with, I know they have my back. So it's like, I feel like I'm walking with wolves. We're a pack. So it's a really, I'm not even ashamed to say it. It's a really cocky feeling walking onto the job site as a project engineer.
Yes.
Yes.
Hey, look. No judgment over here. I can imagine, because building is, I mean, building is building is something amazing that you take nothing and you make something, and it's amazing.
Oh yeah. And so I am in concrete now. So we're like one of the first ones on the job site. So before everybody comes over, because we set the foundation. So it's pretty cool just to like see everything come up. And it's like, okay, what you guys are walking on, we poured that, we built that.
Yes.
So yeah.
Yes. Wow, that's nice. It's a sense of pride in your work.
Oh yes.
Have a sense of pride for sure. Now, Nancy, what advice would you give to young women, and again, especially women of color who are considering a career in the trades or construction?
Don't be scared. Don't hesitate. Go out, do it. Don't let anybody tell you that you can't. And don't let the stigma or rumors of women in construction ruin your own opinion of your experience in construction, because everybody has their own journey and their own experience. So go out there and get it.
Yeah. Cool. Now, Nancy, you mentioned you had 2 children.
Yes.
Are they boys, girls?
My daughter is 15 and my son is 8.
Okay. So you have one of each. And so
Yep.
What do they think about you working in construction? Do you think their vision or how they see you is different, or?
No, because all they see is mommy.
Okay.
All they see is mommy.
So they don't really see or see you in your role that you
we actually have now that I work in the office, we have days where it's bring your kids to work day, so they can come and see. And they think it's awesome because my son gets to see the cranes, and they were able to ride some of the equipment safely.
Okay.
So they think that is cool. Just me being able to operate the different equipment out there, because it's so massive, and they're like, oh, my mom could drive that.
Yeah.
So
that's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. So Nancy, as we are winding down, what do you want people to remember most about your journey?
That even though it was hard and it sucked at the beginning, I came through the freaking ashes and made it.
Yes.
And I can't be stopped.
That is so good. Thank you so much, Nancy. Now, you have been listening to She Got Hands, where every story is a blueprint for what's possible. Thank you to the incredible Nancy Horn for showing us that progress is built step by step, year by year, and that leadership can be earned with both hands and heart. To every woman out there considering construction or holding it down already in construction, we see you, we support you, and we believe in the power of your work. Until next time, keep rising, keep building, keep leading, keep showing the world. She Got Hands. I'm Lorie Jean Akambi.
Lorie Out Loud.